Today, we're going to talk about something that's a reality for so many families, multilingualism. But we're going to flip the script on this one. We're going to explore why looking at multilingualism not as a hurdle, but as a literal superpower is the key to unlocking your child's amazing potential.
Okay, just look at this number for a second. 86%. In just one sample school community, that's how many students are multilingual. This is not some rare exception, This is the new normal in our world. It tells us that speaking more than one language is the shared reality for most of our kids.
So, this brings us to the most important question, really. What if we just changed our whole point of view? What if, instead of seeing multiple languages as some kind of problem we need to fix, we started treating it for what it actually is, a superpower, just waiting to be unleashed?
And believe me, this is way more than just a feel-good phrase. It has a huge, real-world impact. We're talking about students who are a living, breathing connection to 94 different countries in over 40 languages. Just imagine that for a second. A global network of culture and communication, all right there in one school. That is a language superpower.
But to really understand this superpower, we have to figure out where it comes from. And it really starts in the heart, the very core of our identity and our beliefs. Because, language isn't just words. It's all tangled up in our sense of who we are.
So, let me ask you this. Think about it for a second. Where does language live inside you? I mean, which language do you use when you're telling someone you love them? Or when you're trying to solve a really tough problem? Or when you're connecting with your family's history? The answers tell us so much.
And that leads us to this really cool tool called the Multilingual Identity Map. It's basically a way to visualize how all our different languages have a home inside us. It helps us get that each language we speak has its own job, its own special place in our lives.
So let's break it down. The heart, right? That's our home language. It's the language of feelings, of safety, of love. Then there's the head. That's for our school language, the one we use for academics and thinking things through. The feet, well, they connect us to our cultural language, our roots, our heritage. And the hands, that's our connecting language, for friends, for community, for play. See? They all matter.
So once we see our kids as these whole people, it kind of forces us to make a really big shift in our thinking. This takes us to the head part of our journey. It's all about changing the way we think about and teach our multilingual kids.
And this shows the two paths perfectly. The old way of thinking was all about fixing what was seen as a problem. A child's home language was a barrier. We focused on what they lacked. The goal was just survival. But this new vision, it's about flourishing. It sees language as a bridge. It focuses on a child's strengths and asks them to bring their whole self to school. And the goal? It's not survival anymore. It's excellence.
And here's the absolute game changer. When you strengthen a child's home language, you're not holding them back. You are actually pre-teaching the school curriculum. Think about it. If a child understands a concept like gravity in their first language, their brain has already done all the heavy lifting. Learning the English word for it is just like adding a new tag to knowledge they already have.
Okay, so if that's the new way to think, how do we actually do it? We need a game plan, a real strategy. And this brings us to the hands part of our map, the key strategy that makes all this happen, both in the classroom and at home. And that strategy has a name, translanguaging. Now, this isn't about kids just mixing up languages. No way. This is the brain's super efficient, totally natural way of using all of its language tools to figure things out. It's a bridge that lets a student pull from everything they know, no matter which language they learned it in first. The best way to think about it is like this. Without translanguaging, learning is a total traffic jam. A kid is trying to learn a tough new concept, like photosynthesis, and all the new English words for it at the exact same time. It's slow, it's frustrating, but with translanguaging, it's an open highway. They can use their home language to get the idea quickly, and then, boom, they just attach the new English word to what's already in their brain. So much faster, so much smarter.
So what does this actually look like day to day? Let's get down to brass tacks and talk about the actual steps that schools and families can take to build these language highways and really empower their kids.
In a school that really gets this, the whole vibe is just different. You'll see kids turning and talking to each other to practice new vocabulary. You'll hear them brainstorming for an essay in their home language before they even start writing in English. You'll see welcome signs in all different languages, making it crystal clear that every single child belongs there.
And that support at home, it's just as crucial. Speaking your home language every day isn't just about culture, it literally strengthens your child's brain. Simple things, reading a book together, Singing songs, telling family stories, calling a grandparent, all of this builds this incredible foundation for their identity, their family connection, and their success in school.
So we end up right back where we started, but with a totally new perspective. Being multilingual isn't a weakness that needs to be fixed. It's a rich, powerful, complex superpower. And that leaves us with one final question for you. Now that you know your child has this incredible power, how are you going to help them use it to change the world?